We Love to Party, the name of that one, a double shot of some Blindside Thunder right here on the Tony Jones Show. Before that, My Baby Loves to Dance. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to rifreeradio.org. And, of course, we do check the social media accounts if you're catching us live, so do be sure to check in with us. Now, countless musicians listen to the Tony Jones Show for obvious reasons, quite a few reasons, and the fact that we play the best local music around, but the fact that we're constantly covering independent music and hospitality and entertainment and fun things, and there's nothing that goes hand in hand with music than that. Now, very interesting. I wanted to talk about, and it started off was the fact that I just wanted to mention the fact that the Providence Flea in Providence, Rhode Island is looking for musicians. So if you're an acoustic act, they're looking for musicians to go ahead and play on the boardwalk on the Flea area. You can go to providenceflea.com under vendors, click on music, and, so they put it out through Twitter and through Facebook and, of course, on their website. And as I'm looking at the Facebook post, there's all kind of controversy surrounding the fact that they are asking musicians to play for free. So it kind of is a situation where Providence Flea provides you with the area. They provide you with, an amp, and they'll feed you, but it's up to you to solicit funds, either having your hat out, either having a suitcase out, your guitar case. So a lot of controversy broke out of the fact, and there's quite a few different comments shaming Providence Flea for not paying the musicians and asking folks to play for free. Now, and DJ Psycho Eddie, as you can attest, the potential audience is hundreds of people. This is a very popular flea. It's the only flea in the city, and you run into the best and the brightest of Providence. So it is a good crowd. They're not asking you to play for free in a coffee shop somewhere where nobody's going to see you. But how do you decide when you're going to take on a gig for free and when you definitely are going to need some dough ahead of time?
Well, for me personally, I look what it's going to benefit as far as if it's a fundraiser or something like that. As far as a musician, that's purely up to whoever it is, because some people really just want to play out and having a free meal, a couple of free drinks. And if I remember correctly, they were also offering table space and whatever, so you can sell your merch.
So if you had merchandise.
I mean, it's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
You might want to, I don't know, throw them a couple of bucks or something. But being that they are, the Providence Flea, they're taking in, I don't know how much per tent, and they do give away 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah, they do one. As we have been the benefit of one nonprofit spot a week,
So I mean, it's kind of a wash in that case, because you're not paying for the spot. To sell your merch. They're actually helping you out by providing a small PA. So I mean, it's kind of a wash. And if I was talented enough to do it, I would throw my hat in the ring. For me to do a free show personally, it really takes a lot, because I mean, as you can attest, I did the car show, which is to benefit cancer patients and stuff like that, and even then I have to ask for money, because I have to bring assistance and whatever, and wear and tear on my equipment.
And with that land yacht you drive, I'm assuming there's quite a bit of gas money that's needed.
Well, that too, especially if I forget my phone and I have to go back 2 and 3 times.
I'm looking at the comments here regarding the Providence Flea, and I would say it's about 50-50. So 50% of the people are saying, shame on the Flea for not paying the musicians, and the other half are people like I did, actually tagging different acoustic musicians that might be interested in the gig. And, the rest are saying, I can't believe you're asking musicians to play for free. So it's interesting. Now,
well, how many of those people are outraged, and how many of them are just looking for something to complain about?
No, that is, as much as we love social media here, that is the sad fact, is that there's a lot of folks with just nothing better to do than take a big old dookie on someone else's fun Sunday morning.
I mean, that's one of the things that really ticks me off more than anything else. You have plenty to say, but you're not willing to do anything about it. People complain about some of the stuff that we do. You donate your time for free. You're doing this, you're doing that. And, well, if you want to pay me, you can hire me anytime you want. And then they just shut up.
Now, to that point, and probably one of our more popular shows lately was a few months back when we did the Uber Roundtable. And this past weekend, I believe, is the first time that you could tip your Uber driver. Now, have you been out there? How's that going so far?
Oh, I've been out there, believe me. Actually, it's going pretty good. It's like anything else. If you work out the numbers for what I've done since January, I've done just shy of 1,300 rides.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I only do this 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
And of those 1,300 rides, only about 400 of them have actually rated me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only way you can tip in the app is if you rate your driver.
Okay.
So most of the people don't see the ratings because they just don't care.
They just want to
So
ride,
they're not going to see the tipping part or aspect. As a driver, hey, don't forget to rate me. But I'm also finding out that certain areas tip much better than others. Now, I'm not going to give away my honey hole secrets here, but suffice it to say, I stumbled upon an area which, A, is not very well trafficked by Uber drivers because it's out of the way.
Yeah.
And the people there are so happy, number one. And
to
number
get an
two,
Uber,
these people are filthy freaking rich. So, for a $5 ride, I got a $20 tip.
Wow.
So,
which, on the side of the customer, that's still tip and ride together is still probably less than what they would pay for a traditional taxi cab.
On my side, it was $5, so that's 80%. So you'll probably like $7, $8 ride on their part, plus 20. So for $30, this person saved
probably $30.
Well, about $30 and or maybe about $2,000 worth of DUI lawsuits.
That's that will cost you $10,000, and we know people that we can point to, and they'll give us the hard numbers.
So, I mean, is it worth it? Yeah, I think it's very worth it, especially
unless you're a DWI lawyer.
Actually, I had one of those in my vehicle just the other day from Massachusetts. I picked him up at a local gentleman's club, and we discussed strip club etiquette all the way to his house, which I'm not going to divulge where he lives.
We discussed pink eye home remedies.
Plus, on the other side of that, I did pick up one of our South County police officer. So, one of the cities and villages where they have their own police force.
Right, yeah.
I picked him up, and we had a nice long discussion because we went from almost in the Watch Hill area. Again, I'm being purposely... I don't want to throw anyone
vague.
under the bus. Yeah, it's somewhere within 20 miles of Watch Hill. But I brought him all the way to East Greenwich.
Wow.
And, for him, again, it was like a $20, $25 ride. And he was very appreciative because, A, it prevents a DUI.
Yeah.
B, it keeps him employed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of police departments, if you get a DUI or anything, questionable, you're fired.
I should hope so, yeah.
So it's just something else to think about. And then another thing that I found, I did get stopped for the first time.
Right, yeah.
In Newport.
That cost a bit, right?
It would have if I did not have my charm on that night.
Not to be confused with your old screen name, Eddie Costabit.
Yeah, oh yeah. But no, in Newport, if you pull over to the side of the road on Thames and on America's Cup, if there is an officer anywhere within eyesight, he will pull you over,
wow.
And it is a quite a substantial ticket.
Damn.
That will go back to our other conversation about working for free.
And did you say that Uber helps you out in that situation, or is that that cost is on
much,
you?
It's all on you.
Wow.
You did something illegal,
right, yeah.
So why are they going to pay for it?
As I look at the clock, we're starting to run out of time here, so I want to get back to the music so we can quickly talk about the fact that Facebook wants to be the new TV, and I think they could they could take it with the new content and the new kind of technology side of it. But before that, we're going to hear from Analog Heart up next. This track, Elephant Song, you heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
so it doesn't affect you. So I go about my business with reasons to neglecting good, neglecting good, neglecting good.
Elephant Song, the name of that one, some Analog Heart. Tony Jones here. You were tuned in to the Tony Jones Show. Facebook wants to be the new TV, and they are willing to spend the dough. They're willing to spend, as of now, and this is just in the infant stages, $3 million per episode for centerpiece shows, and they're investing in this studio project and having their own television-style content, sitcom length, after commercials, probably about 15 to 20 minutes, of stuff that is going to be specifically Facebook content. Now, if you are a communications nerd, as I can attest to wholly be, they're making some changes to the Facebook video player. Now, one of my other gigs involves doing video, and part of that is it streams to Facebook as it's happening live. So the new Facebook player, you can pop out. So you can pop out that video player to the side of Facebook, and then you can continue to scroll Facebook. So now you can watch the video content while you're doing your thing. So it's not like a traditional embedded player where you're watching it, but then as you scroll, it goes away. This will pop out to the side. They're also talking about having a player that will just completely pop out. So if you use TuneIn or some of the audio apps, you can go to the site, you can pop out that player, and then you can listen as you're doing your thing. You know, you're paying bills, surfing the web, and you can listen to the music. I know people come home after work, and as they're checking their emails, they listen to Rhode Island Free Radio. I'm assuming they pop that out in its own player, then they can do their thing online. But I think that's what it would really take for people to really connect with the content. But they could, you know, Facebook could be the new TV. Facebook could be the new YouTube. I think YouTube is the big situation where they put them at a competitive disadvantage. But it'll be interesting to see if people are willing to access, you know, a traditional TV-style piece of content right on social media. A lot of people do multi-screen. So, I mean, I know people that can watch a video on their computer screen and watch, TV in the room. That would make my eyes go. I would look like a hammerhead shark. Like, I would never be able to figure out how to do that. I do mostly work and listen to music. But, Eddie, what do you think about consuming television? I know you're a cord cutter. You don't have cable. You don't consume a ton of television. So what do you think about, consuming that content right on social media?
I'm all for it. Number one, as you just pointed out, I have not had traditional cable television for almost 6-8 months at this point, and there are some nights where it gets a little slim pickings, but between YouTube, Netflix, and whatever else, these streaming audio. Pandora is my best friend in the world. I literally play it as I go to sleep because I set up a channel with just sleepy time music. That cup of tea, audio cup of tea, whatever you want to call it. But I don't see it as that far of a stretch for them.
And it's great for folks like us that like to create content. I mean, there is a real situation where you can really, the gatekeepers are dead, and you can get stuff out to the masses almost instantly.
Well, right now I'm looking at, and as you talked about multitasking, I have, no word of a lie, 6 separate Facebook pages up right now, and a 7th one that I'm flipping through for updated content for my show, which is going to be in just a few minutes. And
I just fat fingered that.
It's okay. But as I'm doing it, people are constantly uploading videos from YouTube onto their Facebook page anyways. So why not just cut out the middleman?
This could cut that out. And the money side of it, I mean, that cuts out a lot of revenue for YouTube. They are still ad-based and search engine-based.
Well, YouTube being search engine-based, whatever their algorithm is, eventually, one of the shows I watch is called Demolition Ranch. Mm-hmm. Go figure. I like watching people blow stuff up. But as you're watching this, their algorithm is now tuning towards just that.
Yeah.
So if you fall asleep watching Judge Judy, by some stretch of the imagination, if you could sleep through that, cackling wretch, in the morning when you wake up, every suggestion for your YouTube page for the next 6 months is going to be Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown, and any other judge you could find.
I know. I was looking for a bow tie, and for obvious reasons, I looked on a Big and Tall site, and every pop-up thing for me right now across platforms are Big and Tall suits. Just everything. They've really they've penetrated all platforms for me, and they're trying to give me some Big and Tall suits.
Well, honestly, for clothing wise, I have my connections, especially for formal and semi-formal wear. A friend of mine is down at one of the local suit purveyors. I'm not going to give him any free advertisement because he hasn't paid for it.
Unfortunately, we got to get out of here, but I think we'll continue to cover this story with the Facebook television and also what they're going to be offering directly through Facebook for audio content. So it's just the wild, wild west of media, and we know it and we love it here on the Tony Jones Show and on RI Free Radio. Be sure to check us out next week at Ocean State Paracon. Look for me, look for DJ Psycho Eddie, look for RJ Gregory, look for Chuckles the Clown. 4 people that you cannot miss in a crowd. I think you'll be able to spot us. We're going to leave here with a little Abandoned by Bears, For Sake of Nothing, the name of this one. Of course, I want to thank you for tuning in. Bye, everybody. Bye.
I try my hardest, but you keep pushing me back. I don't want to be the bearer of the bad news. Nothing to hold on to. Is it all your pride for the sake of nothing? For the sake of nothing, you made me question everything about you. I gave up my nose and everything you made me believe in. You were beating down my spine without a thought in my brain. I never bothered much of my pain. My feelings and mine won't be yours to take. I know you know that I am not the only who can honestly say that there is no more room left.
From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just gonna have for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church.
Sunrise on the darkest days, got me feeling
DJ Psycho Eddie here.
What's up, guys? Thank you.
Wow, Tony, you're having an off day technologically, aren't you?
Fat fingers, skinny buttons, not a man's best friend.
It sounds like my jeans. Anyways, that was... it's going to be one of those shows. That was Acadia. Acadia? We'll go with Acadia. That was a remake of Despacito. I think a much better version of it than the Biebs. Anyways, that was actually one of my friends from the Pasco Cafe asked me to check that out, and I liked it enough to share it with you guys. Again, you are listening to My Night Out Radio only on RI Free Radio. If you're listening in because of the I can't friggin' talk today. Because of the advertising myself and Davey Moore did about Davey Moore being in studio, wrong. Unfortunately, Davey had...
but we are now up a bottle of Jameson.
Yes, we are. Which is chilling out nicely in the fridge. Anyways, Davey Moore cannot make it. Something came up. So you're stuck with Tony Jones and myself for the next hour.
I would say stuck.
Yeah, I would. Because now we had... Sorry, Davey, I'm going to bust on you a little bit if you're listening. We now have to struggle to figure out what we're going to talk about in place of what you were going to talk about, which, well...
was the Midday Social.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll also talk about the Ocean State Paranormal Convention. Ocean State Paracon is next weekend. By the way, we won't be here next weekend if you're listening. But I've been remiss in my duties, I have to say. I have not talked about food in the last 2 or 3 episodes.
That's right. I've been eating enough for both of us. So.
Oh, no, I've been eating. I've been eating like a son of a gun. I just have not been talking about it because there's been so much other stuff. Well, fortunately, with Davey not being here, there's a couple of places I really need to bring to your attention. First one, East Providence on Taunton Avenue, Yaki Mani. Don't know what it means. They do sushi, ramen, dumplings, fried chicken, which doesn't sound like it belongs, but it does. You know, it's one of those things that just sounds so wrong, it's got to be right. Now, of all places, I go to the a Chinese market in Cranston, Rhode Island, and they were advertising it there. So if you have people who this is their culture, this is their food, and they're telling you got to check this out, chances are it's going to be good. And it was very. Once again, that's Taunton Avenue, East Providence, Yaki Mani, Yakimani. When I was there, I had the beef ramen, big bowl of noodles, beef soup. It was really good. And it had the sliced beef in it. It was excellent.
I love that.
And then the sushi, I went with the big bamboo roll, the dragon roll, and the rainbow roll because that's how I roll. Yeah, that was a little sushi joke, guys. If you don't get it, just stay tuned because there'll be more of it. Another place, in fact, on my way here today, definitely change your pace from the sushi. I had barbecue. You know, if you don't know me well, or if you've never listened to me before, barbecue for me is more of a religion than it is a food group.
And, you know, in my humble opinion, and I've bounced this off of some other food connoisseurs,
fat guys
over the years. Yes, one Pat Ford and other gentlemen of the larger persuasion. You know, as much as the culinary scene in Rhode Island is red hot, Rhode Island up until recently, I'm assuming with the place that you're going to talk about in Dirk's on Thayer Street, has been a little barbecue challenged. It's there's some chains, but for local independent barbecue. Now I have to say, some of the best barbecue I have ever had in my life was in your backyard. So Rhode Island is kind of coming out of that funk of being barbecue challenged.
Well, the place I'm going to talk about, Billy Hills Roadhouse.
Anything with Roadhouse in the name, like I'm pulling into that parking lot.
Well, it's right down in Hope Valley, right on Route 138. I don't even have the address out. That's how unprepared I am for it today. It is on 1219 Main Street, which is also Route 138 down Hope Valley. I went there. The brisket, they named it incorrectly. It was more of a meat butter. It was just so soft, so tender, falling apart. Was excellent. Full bar. So I did have to, twisted my arm. I had to have an Angry Orchard with it. We also had oh crap! I'm looking at the menu right now to remember what I had, because I had some of my wife's stuff too. But we have the pulled pork egg rolls, which again doesn't sound really right, but all it is inside the egg roll wrapper is pulled pork. They're not trying to sneak a vegetable in on you. The barbecue sauce was excellent. It was a little on the thin side, so it gets into all the nooks and crannies. Very good barbecue. I would compare this pretty much on par with Dirk's. Dirk's has a little bit different flavor to their spice rub. I will be talking about Dirk's in the upcoming weeks. Again, as you mentioned, yes, barbecue is a religion.
It's an art, yeah.
It is an art form, and not too many places have done it right in Rhode Island. One place that I know was the mecca for Rhode Island barbecue was Wes's. Wes's has been overshadowed by far. Unbelievably, they've been overshadowed by such places as Billy Hill's, Dirk's, even LG's Barbecue when it was on Hope Street. I don't even think they're there anymore. If you look for it, and the one that I gotta say better than every other barbecue place in the area, it's worth the trip, in Jamestown, Rhode Island, is the Pink Pig.
Oh yeah.
I went there. I spent probably half a week's paycheck for the average person. I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, and I literally got one of everything.
You looked at the menu and said yes.
I'll take the lot. But again, the Pink Pig, I went in there. It was for my father's birthday, so I was sparing no expense because my dad is obsessed with barbecue, even more so than I am. I went in there. I got brisket, beef and pork ribs, pulled pork, and every order of meat you get, they give you sides for free. Well, it's included in the price. You get coleslaw, which is more of a pickled cabbage than it is like a mayonnaise base. They give you jalapeno rings, which would cost my father at $75, we'll call it. He's not eating the jalapenos. And again, the food there is absolutely amazing. Worth the trip out to Jamestown. That's the Pink Pig.
And that's the free bridge.
Yeah, that is depending on which way you're going. Fortunately, if you're a Rhode Islander and you have the Easy Pass, it's only 85 cents to get across the bridge. Think about that. Last place I got to tell you about, yesterday morning for breakfast. Now, when I drive for Uber, I do Friday all day and Saturday after 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll start. So I did my typical almost 20 hours on Friday. Saturday morning, I didn't feel like moving, let alone cooking. And so we went to a place that was recommended to us by our own friend Crimson Alcamere. He told us to go to the Music Man Bar and Grill in beautiful Johnston, Plainfield Pike in Johnston. Actually, I think that's Cranston. It's right on the line. It's like within a block of the Cranston-Johnston line. So either way, it's on Plainfield Pike. You got to check it out. They have homemade corned beef hash.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing more I need to say. Homemade corned beef hash. I just had hash and eggs, toast, the bread for the toast. How many people are excited about bread? Not many. When I tell you it had to be homemade.
I mean, everybody's gluten-free these days, so more bread for us.
Exactly. I am gluten-full. All right. If you don't want your gluten, give it to me. I'll take care of it for you. So those are my recommendations and places to go to dine out in and around this fair burg of ours, this fair state. We're going to go to some music. When we come back, we'll talk about the Ocean State Paracon. We'll be back in a minute. We're going to leave here with a little bit of Yellowbird, The Chase.
Cold
folks. Now my life's full of cigarettes and dirty jokes. I got 9 words on the tip of my tongue. I got 9 lives and the scope of a gun. While my life's about a half-past it, I got a real sweet girl running through my head. I feel harder than I knew I should. I miss my baby, but she treats me good. I got no brothers, but I wish I got about a half rosy and a pillow pad so I can smoke it out and watch it burn away. When I flash right hot till it's torn and rain. Oh, my life, I waited for somebody else to kill me till my heart's content. But all they do is build me up and now I'm spent. We got a problem on our hands tonight. Cause all I do is drink until I stop fighting. Couldn't have me there, but put you to it now. I find myself in ocean now, I'm swimming down. Yeah. And thank God I just lost my sense of smell. Cause everybody's been feeding me the same old shit. I don't y'all get out on my breath, thinks I'm wrong. But can you blame me after everything that I have done for you? And after all you put me through and na-na-na-na. Oh, my life, I'm waiting for somebody else to kill me till my heart's content. But all they do is build me up and now I'm standing. Got a problem on our hands tonight. Cause all I do is drink until I start a fight. You couldn't have me there, but would you do it now? I cry myself and know you now I'm swimming out.
All right, my night outers. That was Most Dangerous Men Alive. Name of that song, Till My Heart's Content. Before that, we heard Yellowbird. The name of the song was The Chase. Now, next week, I told you at the top of the hour, we would not be in studio. We will be at the Ocean State Paracon.
Yeah, baby.
2017. I will be the voice, well, mostly the voice you hear.
I'll be the stomach and the mouth.
Now, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to, the least of which is the Hawaiian Ice guy who was there last year. Hopefully he's there again this year.
I believe that was Wilfred Brimley brand Hawaiian Ice.
That's right. He's just sitting there going, diabetes.
I got 10 toes. I'm good.
Well, you do now. Let's see what happens after next weekend. But food aside, and that's hard for us to put aside, but food aside, the Ocean State Paracon is next weekend. Now, there's going to be a lot of people coming down there. A lot of well-known paranormal investigators will be there. If you want to check it out, please come down. We will be at the Assembly Theater in Burrillville. Now, that is Harrisville, Rhode Island, which is right next to Burrillville.
Yeah. I think it's a village of Burrillville, kind of like North Kingstown and Wickford. And you know how us Rhode Islanders are. If there's, a hair length away, it has to be a different thing.
Well, you see, this
is where we are right now. This is not Crompton. Is it Compton or Crompton?
Crompton,
right. But if I go 2 blocks that way,
it's Lower Arctic.
Right. I'm in SCLA.
Anyways, I mean, you see, I get distracted way too easy. I need to start drinking more. I think I made that declaration just the other day. Now, the list of people that will be there. Joe Chin, Carl, Keith, and Sandra Johnson. Our very own Chuckles the Clown is going to be a guest there. John Breitman, Tim Weisberg, Bill Brock. These are all names that you've seen in and around a lot of the paranormal literature going around, a lot of paranormal shows. Chris DeCesare is another one. The Gettysburg Ghost Girls. That's the one I want to see.
Could we have our table near them, Ken, if you're listening?
I believe that's who we were next to the second day last year.
Okay, yeah.
And they were really cool. Yeah, we'll leave the that conversation aside. But now, one of the best parts about this, and this is something we mentioned in your show, again, I can't talk. This is one of the things we mentioned on your show earlier, when to decide whether or not to do a free show.
Right.
This is benefiting the Rhode Island Coalition Against Domestic Violence. So, for me, it's a no-brainer. This is something I have 3 sisters.
Right, yeah.
I've already made the offer to at least one of them to make someone disappear. And it wasn't even as bad. I did have to have a conversation with somebody. However, if you're going to go, it is $12 a day, or for $20 you get the weekend pass. Kids 12 and under, or if you're really short and can pass for someone 12 and under, is only $5. So this is something you want to check out. This is next weekend, July 15th and 16th, 11 a.m. Do you think you can make 11 a.m.?
It's going to be tough. I'm thinking I got there fairly early last year because I wanted to have a place to park, and but it's
well, I got to get there around 7:30, 8 o'clock because I got to set up the.
And last year you set up the night before, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I set up that morning because I'm not going to leave all that gear outside under a tent.
No, that's.
I don't care how nice the tent is; it's not that secure. So that's next weekend. We will not be here. You definitely want to check us out if you come down. Just look for a tent with a few 1,000 pounds of sexy underneath it. That would be Tony and myself. Now, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the Midday Social, which Davey Moore should have been here. Yes, I'm going to get my jabs in on this one, Davey. We're going to leave here with a band that I have not played on this show yet.
Uh-oh.
It's Animals and Shapes. We'll be back in a minute.
Such beautiful city. Only wish it were you. Such a helpless history. Only fit for a fool. Of the rolling eyes as she rolled on down the way. Sunny streets, they form the paths as it let us both astray. She always said we're all the same, just a puzzle piece to a different game. Sad to say, I stood there as she rolled the dice and walked away. I've never been haunted by ghosts in my own house. Such a beautiful city. Only wish it were you. Such a beautiful city. Only wish it were you. Such a helpless history. Only fit for a fool. Such a beautiful city. Only wish it were you. Such a helpless history.
You've got everything to look up to. From the bottom, you've got everyone else to compare yourself against. So forget it, you're forgotten in a world so disenchanted. Always asking, never knowing, is it just you or everybody else? We're the kids who are dead inside, but we're the ones who feel alive. We dream 'cause we don't sleep, we'll never get rest, but we got this. It hurts, and they like that. They fight fire with cheap shots and setbacks. They take cloudless thoughts and pristine hearts for granted. So forget them, they've forgotten you already. You can't help but ask yourself, is it just me or everybody else? We're the kids who are dead inside, but we're the ones who feel alive. We dream 'cause we don't sleep, we'll never get rest, but we got this. We're the kids who are dead inside, but we're the ones who feel alive. We dream 'cause we don't sleep, we'll never get rest, but we got this. I don't need your cheap shots to setbacks. I'm fucking fine to go and take that road back. I don't need your cheap shots to setbacks. I don't need your cheap shots to setbacks. I'm fucking fine to go and take that road back. I don't need your cheap shots to setbacks. We're the kids who are dead inside, but we're the ones who feel alive. We dream 'cause we don't sleep, never get rest, but we got this. We're the kids who are dead inside, but we're the ones who feel alive. We dream 'cause we don't sleep, never get rest, but we got this. We're the kids who are dead inside, but we're the ones who feel alive. We dream 'cause we don't sleep, we'll never get rest, but we got this.
All right, my night outers. That was the Karma Killers. And of course, my computer's screwing up right now. The name of the song was Tightrope. Before that was As It Is, Cheap Shots and Setbacks. And we started off this 3-play Animals and Shapes, Ghosts in the House.
Speaking of Paracon,
That's it. It's almost like I lined this up this way.
serendipitous.
I know. Well, coming up in just, what is it, on the 20th, it's a Thursday night, we have the Midday Social coming up. Davey Moore was supposed to be here. I mean, I'm going to keep jabbing that, by the way.
He didn't have his passport to get into Crompton.
Well, either way, the Musician Networking Midday Social, you can look it up on Facebook. It's going to be held at Alchemy. Let's see. There's going to be a lot of great people coming down. And, of course, it's not popping up. Why do I have a computer that if it's not going to actually show me what I want it to show me? This is killing me here. I know John Laurenti's going to be here. John Laurenti from WZLX is definitely going to be here. Again, this is going to be held at Alchemy. Now, we are both benefiters, more or less, from the Midday Social. Now, I DJ'd it once, I want to say about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while.
And I know we've both done a lot of bookings and met a lot of great people.
Gotten a lot of content, CDs, MP3s.
Exactly. I
records.
ended up with stacks of CDs, a lot of which you're still listening to this day because, I mean, the music, the content is just so good. And fortunately for us, it's free. So that fits right into my sweet spot there. If you are any type of musician, industry professional, if you're just looking to make new connections or meet up with some of the people you've been talking to for quite a while, the Midday Social is definitely someplace you want to go to. I'm going to stop crying in about a second because nothing is responding right now. I'm like ready to scream at my computer. Not that it will listen to me like just about everything else. So one of the fun things I like about going to the Midday Social, aside from the heavy drinking, is you get a chance to see, not just listen to, some of the musicians, so you could see which ones would actually be a good fit.
Yeah.
If you want to do something like we did with our last anniversary party.
I mean, or even for potential guests here, chances are if you can have a good conversation with them, with all the background noise and the craziness that's going on at the social, then when we get them here behind the mic, they're going to be a good interview for us here.
Yeah. Another couple of people that are going to be there. First, like I mentioned before, John Laurenti from WZLX. Mike Delahunty will be there. He's the talent buyer for the Met and Lupos. Providence Monthly columnist Adam H. will be there. Michael Ryan, the owner of Motif Magazine and proprietor of the 2017 Motif Music Awards.
Of which we both lost.
Yeah. I think we should take him aside, buy him a couple of beverages, have a nice conversation with him. Only kidding, Mike. If you are listening, we will not be doing any type of threatening. At least not that we will admit to. Mr. Rob Duguay will be there. Now, he is the longtime promoter and owner of Top Fine Fiend. He's done shows and book bands all over.
I think he's doing some work out in my neck of the woods, kind of expanding out of Providence. He's been booking some stuff at the Wheelhouse down in Narragansett.
He is all.
Have you been driving him there?
No, I have not been driving him there, but I know someone has been giving him a ride home. Sorry, Rob. The jokes write themselves.
We would love to have Rob Duguay do a show on Rhode Island Free Radio, but he has no transportation here.
Well, we have to work on that. You can set up the.
Can we sponsor? Can we get Uber to sponsor Rob Duguay?
We can look into that. If nothing else, you can set up a business account, and you can pay for him to go back and forth.
We'll get a car. We'll go back to the days of Buddy Cianci. We'll get the mayor's helicopter going. We'll fly him back and forth.
The luxurious RI Free Radio Uber account. Also. Marcus O'Hagan, the talent buyer for Ralph's Rock Diner up in Worcester.
I love that place.
Yeah.
Talk about a place with great burgers.
Now, one of the bands I'm going to be playing later on tonight will be playing there, which is Blackletter, Tarby. They're trying to get a few acoustic acts to be performing as well. And the read on it, because it's been a while since there's been a Midday Social.
Yeah.
So the read on it is a lot of people are really excited that this is taking off, and at this point I would be asking Davey a few questions. You bastard, you didn't show. I'm only kidding. I really don't know what happened. Crap hit the fan. Davey couldn't make it, and after this episode is finalized, we're going to be drinking the bottle of Jameson that was slated to go home with him. So that's the Midday Social. If you can make it, if you have anything at all to do with music, even if you're just a fan of the music, you could pick up a lot of free music there. And the bands, they will definitely be putting on their the best show that they can, because again, like I said, the talent buyers for several clubs are going to be there. So with that being said, we're going to get back to some music. We're going to leave here with The Brunt of It. The name of the song is Out of Gas. We'll be back in a minute.
Paper headlines, another dead rock star could feel the pain. He dealt with it his way. He paid the price for the life that he chose. Needle in his arm and sucking up his nose. You're out of gas, man, you're all washed up. You're lying in a pile of fume with your eyes shut. You're out of gas, man, you took it too far. That's the price that you pay to be a rock star. Glorify the use of that shit to make your music. You can't do without it. You find yourself falling deeper and deeper. Next thing you know, you're jamming with the Grim Reaper. You're out of gas, but you're all washed up. You're lying in a pile of fume with your eyes shut. You're out of gas, but you took it too far. That's the price that you pay to be a rock star.
Once again, we are having those technical difficulties that make it just. That's how you know this is real live.
That's why you should listen live. Yeah,
because we are screwing up left and right.
Because that song told me that it was 1 minute and 11 seconds long, but it was actually 55 seconds long.
And that was, by the way, The Frenzy of Tongues. The name of the song was Kyle. Before that, Brunt of It, Out of Gas. Now, if you want to be part of the show, if you want to be featured, if you want to just come in and talk with us, definitely want to hit me up, mynightoutradio@verizon.net, mynightoutri.com for all your upcoming events and promotions. If you want to just see us on Facebook, /MyNightOut, Twitter and Facebook, it's either DJ Psycho Eddie or My Night Out RI. Now, I talk about it quite a bit now because, well, it's fodder for a lot of great stories. As you know, I am an Uber driver, and I have been really promoting the hell out of Rhode Island's music scene coming up. And a lot of people don't realize how much is actually going on in such a small state. Now, we were just talking off the air about the unbelievable amount of radio-friendly music that's coming out of the Rhode Island area. But more to the point, what's coming into this area, the upcoming events that, you don't hear about, but, these are names that are pretty big. Couple of them to really bring to your attention. August 18th, Stabbing Westward. They were really big. You heard them on every radio station pretty much for the last...
Every goth night.
Yep, goth night especially. But they're coming August 18th to Fett Music Hall. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones are coming July 22nd.
The Nostalgia Play.
Yeah. They're going to be playing at the Met in Pawtucket on July 22nd. Let's see. BIM, Scala BIM will also be there. The Agents, Warning Shots, Cope Aesthetics. You don't want to miss that. For you more aggressive music fans, Jesse Leach of Killswitch Engage is doing the Halloween in July show, July 29th at Alchemy. Also at Alchemy on July 22nd, you have the Tool tribute band Schism, and the band Evil Empire will be playing. Let's see. Deep Purple and Alice Cooper are going to be playing Xfinity Center.
That's right, yeah.
In August 27th. There's a lot.
Who headlines that show? Alice Cooper or Deep Purple?
I think it's one of those co-headlining. Actually, Edgar Winter Band will be there also. So that's going to be 3. I mean, how do you determine?
Yeah, they're
you,
pretty.
you flip
they're
a coin
pretty level, yeah.
That's going to be actually it's only a $20 ticket. So that's you have really no reason except for the distance not to go to that show.
And the fact that you should be at the New England Quahog Festival instead.
Well, yeah, there is that. Speaking of the New England Quahog Festival, Tony, do you want to do an update on what's going on with the Quahog Festival?
Well, I'm working diligently to book the main stage there with. We're gonna hopefully. I'm still working on the timing of the band, but I do have. The legendary, one of our favorites around here, Johnny Earthquake. He's going to be there. And Brian Cabral, who played last year at the Quahog Festival, also played for us down at the Rocky Point Clam Shack.
Yep.
And then we're going to have Panoramic View to kind of give that ocean vibe. And then you and I were talking off the air, but a band that we used to really dig and really promote, Reverend Bastine, they have a new act. It's kind of like Reverend Bastine. It's under a new name. Kind of same guys, kind of same angle. I'm trying to get those guys lined up now. It's going to be a nice full day at the stage. Just a great venue, and that's another freebie too. It'll kick off with the parade, and then the parade will end at the beach at noontime, and then the actual festival itself will go from noontime to about 6 o'clock at night. And free admission, free parking. You might spend a little bit of money to eat and things of that nature, but as far as attendance goes, that'll be a freebie all day.
Well, I believe I will. I'm kind of going to be there all day.
You'll be spinning the tunes. You'll be making the announcements. I think you'll be announcing the different winners throughout the day. There's a little bit of a contest for bragging rights concerning the parade itself. So, best float, best costume, things of that nature. So that'll end out at the stage, and the awards will be handed out between the acts.
Now, do you have anything to do with the 70s Rock Summerfest?
I don't, but I
actually stumbled upon this just recently. And now, of course, if it was the actual bands,
that would be something a little bit different. That probably wouldn't be free either if that was the case.
No. But we're doing the Steely Dan tribute, Hey 19.
Who I've seen at the beach. So a few years ago, they played at the beach at the band shell. It was a benefit for the Wickford Arts Association. And, I'm not a huge fan of cover bands and tribute acts, but if you're looking for a tribute act that is true to the sound and the look of the original band, these guys are doing it. It's not just a bunch of people covering the songs. They really put effort into being a tribute band.
Then another band for those of us of a certain age who used to attend Rocky Point when it was open and in its heyday, the band Physical Graffiti, the Led Zeppelin tribute, which I actually, one of my first security gigs was actually doing security at Rocky Point for Physical Graffiti to make sure no one was getting on the stage before or during the show. Afterwards was, all bets were off. And then the Doors tribute, Through the Doors. So that's going to be 3 awesome bands, all of them really good, really true to the band they're covering.
And it's great for me to see, for years I've been kind of promoting, the fact that we have this huge asset, this great stage. I mean, you've been there. I know you've seen some of the free concerts there. And just not a better stage available in the state. And up until recently, we hardly used that facility. I have to say, a lot of people didn't even know it was down there. So it's
until last year, I didn't know it was down there.
It's great for me to see, that has really, that momentum that I've worked on has really taken shape, and they're utilizing this area. And for the most part, it's been free community events, so there's not a huge charge for folks to go down there and enjoy the day at the beach.
Yeah, I personally, I'm looking forward to doing the Quahog Fest. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little fanboy on the Summerfest as well, just because, like I said, I worked with one of the bands, and one of the bands that's always going to stick with me because I was always a Zeppelin fan.
Yeah.
I still am a Zeppelin fan.
The beach the beach is open. If you have no interest in the actual shows that are going on in these events, don't forget that it's illegal for us to close down the actual beach. So if you just want to go there and go to the beach is always open during these events. So even if you're not particularly interested in the stage, you can still go down there and go to the beach.
And you don't have to bring a radio.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing they did want to point out, after they listed the 3 bands, all they put was food trucks will be available. So that's a win-win-win for me. Free parking, free show, and food. That's just stuff you can't make up, man. This is perfect. The only other thing I have to really bring up is the local livestock. Now, I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. I am really excited about this. This is a 3-day festival camping experience with some of the biggest names in local music right now.
And I think that, after not making it to your show today, Davey Moore kind of owes you a favor. So if you get thrown in jail, I think Davey Moore should be your one call.
Well, number one, it's in Connecticut. This is in North Stonington.
Oh, man.
I don't know if he can practice.
Yeah,
in
he's
North
got to bring you to the
Stonington.
border. He's going to meet you at the town line.
But this, I'm not even going to go through all the bands. I'm really looking forward to all of the bands. One of the bands I played earlier tonight, Most Dangerous Men Alive, will be doing a set there. Apollo's Resurrection, I play them quite a bit. But this is put on by Black Sheep Entertainment, who does most of the talent booking for FET. FET. And they have just recently taken over Firehouse 13. Yeah. So Firehouse 13 is no longer going to be closed. So if you're looking for another place to go, not as big of a venue, but I think much more cozy.
Crown Fried Chicken just breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that Firehouse 13 is still viable.
Yeah. So, anyways, Black Sheep Entertainment starts on Friday, July 28th, goes until July 30th. That's a Friday night, Friday afternoon till a Sunday afternoon. You just can't miss. It's $15 a person, whether you show up Friday or Saturday. Now, if you show up on Friday, everyone's going to be setting up, getting all their stuff straightened out. I will be DJing that night. I believe I'm just going to be doing a playlist that night because I want to be partying with the rest of you. Now, the bands are going to be going on. I'm probably going to be DJing in between the bands just to keep the music flowing.
Yeah.
Now, this is on private property. Now, I don't know what that means for you guys, but I know what that means for me. They're not going to be as sticklers for the rules, we'll call it. Yeah, I'm struggling for the words here.
What smells like skunk?
Anyways, the only request that they have, because this is actual farmland that this is going to be on, is no bottled, nothing in glass bottles, really. You know, if you have the finest plastic bottle screw cap of whatever your favorite third-rate vodka is, bring it along.
You just bring a box of wine.
Box of wine. I think that's probably what's going to happen. A box of wine and probably a couple of 12 packs of the Tall Boys Gansets. In fact, if we can get some comped, I'd be more than happy to pass out stickers or something. Anyways, I will be there DJing Friday and Saturday night. I will be camping out both nights. It's a 75-acre farm in the middle of North Stonington, Connecticut, off of some ungodly.
Get there from here.
Yeah, if you don't have GPS, I actually went there yesterday. I went right by the front of it, and if you don't know it's there, you're gonna shoot right past it.
I'm assuming if you forget something, like you're craving a honey bun, there's no convenience stores right up the road type deal, right?
The closest convenience store is right at the truck stop just over the Connecticut line on Route 95. The one that you see off to the right, that is the closest place to get anything.
Wow.
So, yeah, and that's like 3 or 4 miles, so.
I had the opposite situation when we went to Ocean State Paracon last year. I was thinking I better, pack up the car here because there's going to be nothing. And as ubiquitous as it is, not far from the Assembly Theater in Harrisville in Rhode Island, where you would consider to be the woods, is a Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, Dunkin'
I
Donuts
packed up for no reason.
Dunkin' Donuts is becoming almost like the cockroach of advertising. They are literally everywhere.
Which, by the way, if they're interested in sponsoring this program or anything here at Rhode Island Free Radio, we do run on Dunkin'. or Honeydew or Bessie or whoever's paying.
On the other hand, if Pabst Blue Ribbon wants to sponsor us, or Narragansett, or any of the other fine beers that we consume.
Just need a toilet paper sponsor to back that up, to buttress that program.
So basically, we're looking for sponsors. If you want to sponsor us,
I'll go with Moxie. I think Moxie would be a great sponsor.
Price Right.
Just not the Price Right meat department. I do have standards.
Job Lot. If you want to sponsor us, we'll be more than happy to. Anyways, we're going to have to cut it here, guys, because we are out of time. But we have one more song to get to. This is Black Button. The name of the song is Still Kids. I want to thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Of our clothes, we're still just kids. You hinder me, pretend that we're close. I tell you all I keep hid. Now my concern is how bad you get it. Wanna be like everyone else. Please don't get upset. Oh no. She pushes me. My head hits the floor. Said I'll never do that again. You hope. Now my concern is how bad you get hurt.
sure.